YouTube, what's going on? This is Marcus from Black, Married, and Debt Free. And I just wanted to hop on and do a quick live to talk about something that is extremely interesting to me. And I wanted to share that with you. But before we get started, I know you can notice the product placement. So appreciate Coldest Water Bottle for sponsoring this video. And so shout out to them, man. Keeps your water cold for 36 hours and keeps your liquids warm for 12 hours. So definitely check them out. There'll be links in the description. But anyway, now let's talk about the power of exclusivity. And this is something that I'm realizing is super important, and it can really speaks to the digital asset space, right? So we know what an asset is, something that earns you money, right? Something that can earn you passive income. Assets like real estate, stocks, also IPs, intellectual properties, things that you've created. And that's kind of the wave now, right? Everyone wants to have something that they've created that can create wealth for them while they sleep, right? And a lot of those are tangible, but now there's spaces and there's areas where you can get into the digital asset space. So we're going to get into a little bit of that, but one thing I want to talk about is the power of exclusivity. What is that? Exclusivity is when it's like being in a club or a fraternity, right? The appeal of the frat and of the fraternity and that kind of culture is that it's a small number of people who fit into that, right? And so that's the appeal. Having a one-on-one, I'm the only one with this. We see that with the art culture, and how art is now becoming a thing that people are beginning to invest in. And so I'm going to talk about this because if you can tap into that exclusivity piece as a creator, you can really eat off of that, and you can really make some good money, if you're tapped in. So I want to give you guys just some ideas for those of you maybe like trying to start businesses, or with everything that's happening, there's always a play for you as an individual. You just have to know what that is. And in order to know where you fit in the game that's being played, you have to know what the game is. So I'm going to kind of share some things. So cryptocurrency, right? That's something that's a hot button word now. Cryptocurrency is so popular, large part because of its exclusivity. It's a currency that has a finite amount. And so because it has a certain number, everybody wants to get in on that because there's only so much to go around. And so that's part of what makes it so popular. I mean, we're talking about a currency that isn't even widely used and accepted across platforms yet. It's not a federal currency. It's not, you can't pay your rent with Bitcoin or any cryptocurrency as of yet. But the mere fact that there's only a small amount of it, or there's a not necessarily small amount, but there is a finite amount of it, has people wanting to get in on it. Because and that's where we're seeing the rise of these different currencies in the IPO space, in the stock market space, because people know that, man, when and if this thing becomes a widely used currency, there's only so much of it. And so that rises the price. Exclusivity. I want to talk about something that recently happened in the news with Kobe Bryant's estate and Nike. So for those of you who don't know, the shoe culture is big, and there is a shift in the tennis shoe market. You have the retail market, which has been for years, your Nikes, Reeboks, Adidas, and their selling of their merchandise through stores, Foot Locker, Foot Action, East Bay Magazine, for those of y'all who, are 80s babies like myself, we used to get to East Bay Magazine and, you know what I'm saying, and pick out, circle the shoes you wanted. You knew you wasn't getting them, but you still circled them. So, so that was how it was done. It was retail. Nike sold to the customer by way of these different retail stores. And now the resale market is booming, right? And so the resale market is an individual like myself. I'm just gonna make it real simple. It's a lot deeper, but Nike drops the Jordan 1s, right? The original red and white Jordan 1s, they're dropping a 2021 version. So I go on Nike.com and I buy up 100 pair of those. I buy up a large portion of the first release. Let's say I have a lot of money. I buy those up. I resell those on another platform at a exorbitant price because I now have the exclusivity of that shoe. I have the shoe. Nike's sold out to me. And so now I could drive that price up to whatever I want. And what you're seeing is now, because the resale market has boomed so much, the retail market, Nike and these different companies, we're specifically talking about Nike now, they're in bed with these resale guys. These resale guys are so big now that Nike is in bed with these people. They're getting kickback from the resale market. How do they assist in that? Nike will drop you see these small releases, 30, 100 pair, 300 pair, countrywide, worldwide, and so that creates that exclusivity. The retail or the resale bots will pick those up and sell those at a higher cost than what Nike could charge. Nike can't charge $3,000 for a pair of shoes, right? But they could drop a small number of shoes, have the resale guys grab those, sell them at up, and kick Nike back. That's happening. That's happening whether you want to believe it or not. And Kobe Bryant's estate had an opportunity to re-up his contract with Nike. And Vanessa Bryant, his wife, said, nah, we good because I know what you're doing. I know you would drop the Kobe rest in peace 1s and you'd drop 100 pair and they would go crazy on the resale market and you would get kickback. But the negotiation between Nike and Kobe Bryant's estate is based on retail. So she know the game. And so props to Vanessa Bryant on that, not wanting to re-up with Nike because, I don't want you, playing on my husband's legacy like that. And so, but that speaks again to the exclusivity. People want these shoes because there's only a finite amount and Nike knows that. And so they play on that. And so I'm sharing these different things to show you the different ways that exclusivity can earn you money, right? So if you know how, like I said before, if you know how the game is played, you can see, well, where do I fit in this? So, there's a few other things. Fashion, you see a lot of people, like myself, starting different brands and different things like that. And what I've learned in my soft early launches of a brand, of a clothing line, is that when you tell people we only have X amount, you know what I mean? There's only 5 of these, the sale ends at this amount of time. When you give people a finite amount of time or a finite amount of inventory, it drives the want for that product. If it's something that everybody can get, whenever they get good and ready, they'll never get good and ready, right? So that is, once again, knowing the game and knowing that, man, people love one of ones. People love things that others can't get. And it's going to get deeper. We get into it. The Fire Festival. Remember that whole thing? I don't know if you watched that on YouTube, not YouTube, but it was on Hulu and Netflix. It was a festival that was an exclusive, kind of VIP thing. Now, this thing did not even exist, but it was driven by the power of influencers, social media influencers, and the elite, right? Kanye will be there, and the Kardashians will be there, and you know, and this thing was not even. They did not have a location. They did not have all of the things set for the venue. All they did was they sold that exclusivity. They literally packaged exclusivity and sold it. Only a certain amount of people could get in, you know, and people bought those tickets like crazy because they wanted to be one of the ones who were there. You know what I mean? You had to be there. It was only X amount of people there. And of course, they were bamboozled because there ended up not being an event. But that just shows you the power of this thing, man. So another thing that is becoming popular now, and you're hearing more about it, are NFTs, non-fungible tokens. So just like when your kids are playing these video games, these Fortnite video games, and what these people are doing is they're giving the kids the game for free. Fortnite is, you could download it, start playing, but if you want to play the game at its best or have the best experience, you'll need to buy these different things, these different suits and dance moves or whatever. And so you end up paying more in the long run for these exclusive attributes within the game. And so just like that, an NFT is a digital, it could be any digital work that's backed or kind of the history of that digital work is backed up in the blockchain world of crypto and all this kind of techie stuff, right? But what it does is it shows that it's a one of one, or it's a 5 of 5. You know, it shows the history of this particular work, and people are turning everything into NFTs. They're turning gifts into NFTs. So if you were the guy who created the Jordan crying meme, right? And you turn that into an NFT. That first meme, not the screenshots that we've been passing around for the past 10 years, but that first meme. If you created that first meme and turned it into an NFT, you can potentially sell that on kind of an eBay gallery of sorts. So there are people who are waiting online and who are buying. What's good, y'all? Who are buying these NFTs online at auction, just like the art world has been buying different pieces of art at auction. Now people are taking it into the digital space, and they're buying digital works of art, you know what I mean, that are packaged as NFTs, non-fungible tokens. So there was a clip of LeBron James going baseline and dunking on somebody. That was like a 5-minute clip owned by the National Basketball Association, the NBA. And that clip sold for $200,000, over $200,000. Why? Because it was a one of one. This was the original clip. Just that alone, right? And to any of us who are of sound mind, that sounds crazy for someone to buy that. But exclusivity is so tantalizing. It's so, I don't even know the word, but it appeals to those who just want to floss. This is a floss culture. This is a floss era that we're in. Instagram is about flossing. YouTube is about flossing. Everything, all the social media, the low undertone of it all is flossing. I want to be seen. I want people to see me do this. I want people to know I'm the only one with this. So you could lament that and say, man, you could be the old man who says, get off my lawn and talk about that. Or you could figure out a way to get in on that. Myself personally, for those of you who follow us, know that I'm a musician, and music has been a big, huge part of my life. Well, I've been working on a musical work of my own recently, and I'm going to release it on the normal streaming and music platforms, of course. But I'm also looking into putting that body of work into a non-fungible, creating a non-fungible token, and making an NFT out of my digital musical work. So that's something you may want to look to. Authors, if you've ever, the ebook world, right? Instead of just selling that on your Gumroad or your different ebook platforms on your website or whatnot, maybe consider taking that and making it into an NFT and selling it on these eBay like NFT sites. It's something to think about. And so what I wanted to do is just explain the different ways that people are spending and the different ways that people are looking to gain assets. It's not just always the world is always evolving in that way. So we look at assets as real estate, stocks, intellectual properties, but now even digital works, and people want to spend money. So these are some different ways that people are spending, and what it is our job to do is to figure out a way to benefit off that, right? And to figure out where do we fit in that. So these are just some ideas I wanted to share with you. I hope this video was good. And if it was, if you got anything out of this video, let me know in the comment section. Do me a favor, like and subscribe to the Black Married and Debt Free YouTube, and tell somebody else, man, about what we're doing here. Man, that's all I got. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I will holla at you on the next video. Peace.